Hey guys, it's Mosh here. Just wanted to do like a video review. A little bit under the weather right now, but this is Back in Black, ACDC's best album, well, technically best rock album ever made in the history of rock. What happened was with Back in Black, Bon Scott died previously at Highway to Hell, and Angus Young and Malcolm Young and the rest of the band was left to fill in that spot. They didn't know if they were going to continue after that point in their careers, but they did, and Brian Johnson came on the scene and did one hell of a job singing this album completely, from Hell's Bells all the way to Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. This album is literally a 10 out of 10. Something, a gem you cannot miss. More stuff I can say is, besides the guys right there that made that possible. Phil Rude, he's been with ACDC ever since, I want to say like the first album, and then he left for a little bit and then came back. He's been off and on with the band because he's had problems with illegal stuff and various other stuffs. Cliff Williams has always been with the band since day one. He's been a heavy hitter with that just riff. Love him on War Machine where he goes do 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 do. That's just me though. Angus Young, what can I say? And Malcolm, which sadly he was let off a rock burst because he suffered dementia recently, and it's the saddest thing that's ever happened. I mean, because he wrote practically all the riffs with his brother. Well, his brother says that he writes all the good riffs and that he just noodles around them. Practically, here's the songs right here. Hell's Bells, really good song. Shoot the Thrill, love it. What Do You Do for Money, Honey? That's another good song. I mean, Give a Dog a Bone. Let Me Put My Love Into You. Back in Black. You Shook Me All Night Long. Have a Drink on Me. Shake a Leg. And Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. Yeah, this album right here is iconic for me in every single way, and just has that sense of value. It just never gets old, and it holds up the test of time. Normally what rock does, what rock is. I mean, everyone looks up to ACDC. Everyone knows ACDC, no matter what part of the world you go to. You say ACDC, they know it. A little band from Australia that came out here and made everything happen, which was amazing. Well, I mean, back on ACDC's track, I mean, let's start with Hell's Bell. I want to review that song. That song by far is one of the best songs off the album. Just the beginning is so, how can I say, dramatic with the bell. Like, you don't expect it to come the way it is. And everything, just the way how it works and how it is, You don't expect it to go dong, dong kind of a thing. What else? What? Oh, other song is called Shoot the Thrill, We to Kill. Honestly, that song you can play to virtually anything, and it does hold up. It's hold up the test of time. Ooh, forgive me, that's a very popular song amongst a lot of ACDC fans. I mean, this entire album, from beginning to end, is on my playlist. I mean, that's one of the albums. If I was stranded on an island, if I only had 5 albums, that would be number 1. I could listen to that album over and over and not get bored of it. I've already listened to that album probably, when I bought it, I listened to it for a good straight 6 months. I rotated other albums in there as well, but it was always constantly playing from beginning to end, no matter what. And sometimes when I'm in an ACDC mood, I just pop in that one album and it takes care of it. Even though they have other great songs that I like as well. And I have all their albums, all their international released albums. I don't have the limited edition albums that were only exclusive to Australia, which, I mean, technically, if you get TNT, if you get High Voltage, it's just TNT and High Voltage kind of mashed together, missing, I think, maybe 2 songs. But besides that, I mean, I hope one day they come out with the greatest hits album, even though they do have something like that, which is, I'm not talking about live albums. I'm actually talking about like things they did for movies, like Iron Man 2. It pretty much has, that's like kind of like their greatest hits album. Has a lot of the majority of the songs from Back in Black and a couple other albums like For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. They have Highway to Hell. Well, mostly Back in Black, because I mean that's their most popular album. Like I said, that's just gold, straight gold. For them, and for a lot of us, I mean, Angus Young and Malcolm Young, they created something aesthetically well. That's one of the most best rock albums ever put together. With the blues feel, which I love. I mean, Shoot to Thrill, like I said, is just a beast. The other songs I like are, Let Me Put My Love Into You, Babe, practically, him suggesting that you go fuck a girl kind of a thing. And then, She Shook Me All Night Long is practically a lady you're with that you had a good time with. Have a Drink on Me, that's another good one. It's the casual thing, and Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. Just that song alone was kind of like rock and roll is here and it ain't dead. It's always gonna be alive. Even though Gene Simmons has said rock and roll is dead. To a degree, that's kind of true. To another degree, it has evolved. Maybe he doesn't like it, which I can respect that because he grew up, he founded Kiss, he made his own. I mean, well, Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons both, with Ace Frehley and the other guy, they all created Kiss, but either way, I mean, Gene Simmons is a legend in rock, and he's created so much for this industry, for rock, and for him to kind of say rock is dead, it's kind of, open to everyone's opinions. That's just his opinion, because to him, maybe his style of rock is dead. The era of kind of rock he grew up in is dead. Yeah, there's different variations of music, rock, and all that other stuff. Definitely there's a variation of music, different variations of different levels of rock. And ACDC, like I said, that's just literally one of the best rock albums. It's even better than, in my opinion, Kiss Greatest Hits double platinum album, which has God of Thunder, Detroit Rock City. I mean, I love Kiss, don't get me wrong, but when you compare the two, ACDC and Kiss, even though Kiss is just as popular as ACDC, maybe even more in certain opinion, I love them both, but on the actual rock side, I think ACDC, just for me, is more well-rounded than Kiss, even though Kiss had several good albums. I don't think they have a solid album like ACDC has. I could compare Metallica, more or less, the self-titled album. From beginning to end, I actually like that album as well. But it's still ACDC is that album, Back in Black. If I can only take one album with me, or save one album, I would save ACDC's Back in Black, because personally, that's just a masterpiece in its own right. And I respect them highly. That's practically it. Alright, well, I'm losing my voice, so this is Mosh. Take care, rate, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down if you don't like it. Hopefully I can do more reviews for you guys like this in the future. Take care. Peace out.